Shani, welcome back. Today it is time for our weekly roundup where I go over all of the eyeshadow palettes I used over the past week, and typically I rank them from least liked to most liked. I'm gonna do it a little different this week because last week I was out of town for half the week, and then this week I've been a little sick, so there's just like it's different this week, okay? So I'm just gonna show you the palettes that I've used. There are some single shades or single shadows in here as well. And I'm gonna show you the look. I'm just gonna chat with you about the look, the palette, and all that jazz. And then next week, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled program. So let's jump right in. I'm going to start with this look that I have on the eyes right now. This is a combination of two palettes, both of which are from Managerie Cosmetics. The first one is their Paws palette. This came out along with their Claws palette, and I do have both, and I feel like I give the Claws one a bit more love, so I really wanted to pull this one out today because I feel like it has more of the traditional like fall colors, like you've got the browns and the greens and the yellows and the oranges. So I really wanted to bring that one out, and I paired it with the Sugar High palette from Menagerie, and I used this shimmer here, Pouch Protective. I put that all over the eye, and you can just see like these shimmers have a lot of impact, and I really, really like it. This is the first Managerie Cosmetics palette that I bought, and then I bought the Paws and Claws together, and I definitely think I'm going to buy more from them because I just love how bright their shades are. The shimmers are great. They're like very soft and smooth, easy to work with, and just look at it. Look, it's cute, right? Okay, another sort of orangey fall look that I did, I believe was 2 days ago, and for that look I combined another two palettes, both of which are from Nomad Cosmetics. So the first palette I used is their Hudson Valley palette. I really wanted to stay over here for like the reds and oranges, and I paired that with their Okavango Safari palette because I feel like this also has very fall kinds of shades. I paired those together and had kind of like a similar look to the one I have on today, but for this one today I have like this green in the outer corner, and the other day I had more of a brown. So really loving that. I really like orangey brown kind of looks for the autumnal season, as Jan Van would say. So there is that. Now, the look that I did for our Copy Kitty collab this past Sunday, I actually just used the mini Xenon palette from Natasha Denona. I don't hear as many people talking about this palette as much, and I saw like a sneak peek of a release of a mid-size Xenon. I don't know, the picture I saw, I was just like, wah, wah. It was sort of like just a deeper version of the Glam palette with like a bright pink or something in the middle. I don't know. Somehow all of Natasha's releases are leaked, so I don't know if this is real or not, but I wanted to pull out my mini Xenon. This is like a one-stop shop for a smoky gray and black look. That's pretty much all you can get out of this, in my opinion, but it performs as I expected. Same old, nothing new, nothing different, and it was pretty easy to create a look out of this. I don't think that this is one that you need. I don't even know if she sells it anymore, because if you have a gray and a black and a silver shimmer, you've got this palette. Now, when I went into work the other day, into my office, I actually used a bunch of singles. I'm trying to be more on top of using my singles because I have a lot of them. So here is exactly what I took into work. I think it was yesterday. Now, these three shades here, actually all of these are Sydney Grace singles. We've got Antique Coin, Desert Sun, and Blushed. So I kind of did a combination of those shimmers. And then I went in with this shade here, which is, why am I forgetting this one? Keep Smiling. It's this brown that I really enjoy using. There's a bit of a dip in there. I really want to hit pan by the end of the year, so I need to keep just using it, right? But yeah, I love the single mattes from Sydney Grace, and I also love their shimmers. And I seem to like their singles more than their palettes. A ton, probably the majority of my singles are from them, especially the mattes. The matte singles I have are almost 100% Sydney Grace. But I really liked this look. It was great for the office. Very like work friendly, work appropriate, or whatever. If you're going in, still was very pretty and bright and shimmery, but just a little bit more toned down than like this. I mean, I wore this for work also, but I was in the office the other day and I just wanted something kind of soft and simple, and that was really good because I was running late. So I was able to just do a really quick look with that. Okay. Now, this is the newest palette to me. This is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension 2. And I got this while I was in Nueva York, and I really like it. I didn't get any of the other palettes he has. And I did have, I think, 2 of the blushes, but I think I'm like the only one in the world that didn't really like those blushes. You know, the duo with the cream and the powder. I just wasn't as much of a fan. I prefer my Milani cream blushes, and I have like some other cream blushes. For some reason, I just did not get on with it, with those blushes, but I really am enjoying this palette. I liked the little creams. I used those as primers, and then I went in with the shadows. I found that putting the shimmers on with my finger was the best way to go. That's like a tool that I consistently use. And if you don't like using your finger, obviously you can use a brush or you can use one of those little sponge applicators, but I really enjoy using my finger to like warm up the shade, and you can pat it in pretty easily. So yeah, I like this palette. It almost made me want to get his other ones, but I'm like 100% sure that I have all of those shades in other palettes. They're a little bit too much like things that I already have. We're not going to talk about the fact that I have a lot of these shades as well, okay? We're just going to leave it alone. But I'm really glad that I got it. I'm actually looking forward to using it a bit more. I would like it even more if these shades could be popped out, and I can make like a little palette out of the singles. But I like it. I like the packaging. I just don't like that you get fingerprints all over it, but I like that it's sort of like sleek and slim, and we'll see what else he comes out with. I would love to see another like color one as opposed to the more neutral brown ones that he has out right now. But I'm really glad that I finally got this palette. I like it. I did like 1 or 2 looks in New York with it. Very just like simple and easy. Another look that I did in New York, I actually ended up using some of my Cleona shadows. I did 2 looks, I believe, with the Cleona shadows. I'm pretty sure I used this one. What is this one called? Let me grab it. Royal Peach. I used that one. And, oh, whoa! Girl, you know what? I'm so thankful for my boobs because my breasts often make things like have a softer fall. Let me grab this real quick. Okay, this is the shade Citron. Pretty sure I used this one too. So the funny thing is we went to Sephora where I got that Patrick Ta palette, and I had on the peach shade with just like some browns, and everyone was like, oh my god, your eyeshadow looks so good. What is it? And I was like, Cleona. And then when we went to see the Broadway show, I actually just put one of the shimmers on and then did like a black wing because I was just really wanting something simple but also like sparkly. So I was like, I have to use a multi-chrome and then just pop on a winged liner, and one of my favorite looks of the trip. Okay. And I think the last thing is to show you the Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette. Now, I know a lot of people are like, should I get it? Should I not? And if you get it, you're like, how do I use it? I don't know what to do. I have been enjoying this palette. It is not a need, okay? You do not need this palette. But if you're like someone who likes to experiment a little bit, try out different textures and different formulas, I think it's fun to play with. I have managed to use this shade Sculpted for my brows. I have used this shade Harvest as a bronzer. I've used this shade Bark as a contour. This shade Tourmaline I've used for liner and like shadow to deepen out the outer area. I've used Core all over the lid. I've used some of these other ones too as lid shades. And yeah, it's been really fun to play with this. And what I ended up doing, this is a pretty like thick, hefty palette. So what I did for New York is that I just popped out a bunch of the duos and put them into a kit pack like magnetic palette, and it was perfect. It was the perfect thing to go with the singles that I took, because I took all of these Cleona Shadows, and I was able to pair those with these shades. I was able to use the bronzer, the contour, the brow. So it was like cutting down on the amount of things that I took with me. And I really, really appreciated that. So I love palettes where you can pop things out pretty easily. I did a couple of looks with this palette, either by itself or even pairing it with a shimmer. And I really enjoyed the way that it came out. I can definitely see this as a palette that gets a lot of use from me, or for me, especially like when I just need a quick work look and I want to throw something on and have just a light neutral kind of natural look, and then I can amp it up with a shimmer or something. So I feel like this has become a staple, even though like it's different. If you don't like playing around with textures and formulas and you just want your regular like powder shades or even just a cream, like do not get this, okay, unless you know that you are really going to use everything in here. I really like Danessa Myricks products, and what I like is that I do have the blurring balm. I have it in shade 9 for all over my face, and then I have shade 10 as a bronzer and shade 11 as a contour. But the shade 10 is pretty much this shade here, Harvest, and the shade 11 is pretty much this shade here, Bark. So this allowed me to really cut down on two, like I would have taken these bulky things with me, and I didn't need to. I had it all in here. And even though I prefer to use a pencil for my brows, I did like filling them in a bit more with this shade Sculpted. So let me know if you've gotten this and what you're thinking about it. I could see people loving it, and I could also see people really disliking it. So let me know what you think if you have it. Now, typically I will talk about something that I've been enjoying that's like non-eyeshadow related, and I'm still trying out the YSL concealer. I am liking it. I think I do update you on it in an upcoming video, but I will say it's somewhere here. I don't know where. Not in my bra, but yeah. It's a little, I feel like it's a drier concealer. So if you want something hydrating and like luminous, this is not going to be the concealer for you. But if you want something that's like going to give you coverage, going to set down pretty quickly, going to stay on, like I have it on today and I have not done anything to my face, and we are in our, when did I start working? Hour 10, and that also included 2 naps in between clients, and everything is on. Like, face has not moved, nothing has shifted or smudged off. So I used that concealer along with the All Hours foundation from YSL. I'm really mad that I can't find this concealer. Where did it go? I am so sorry. I hope I find it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so here is the concealer, and It does have this doe foot, but it has sort of like a V shape to it, or a Y. I don't even know. Can you? Yeah, it's like a Y. Is that for YSL? Can you see that? And then the packaging, the only thing that's kind of weird to me is this long like neck, that tube there. I feel like most concealers don't necessarily have that, and maybe it was just to kind of go along with the foundation, but I like these. I like both of these. I already knew that I liked the foundation, and that's why I was waiting like impatiently to get the concealer. So yeah, I like them. Maybe worth the price. Maybe. Of course, there are a lot of alternatives that are not as expensive. Okay, y'all, I need to shower, wash my face, and lay it down because I don't feel well. But when you own your business and you're a therapist, don't nobody care if you don't feel well, girl. You gotta work. But thankfully I'm done for the day. I think I have some downtime tomorrow where I can actually get some more work done, but it will also include a lot of resting. I really wanted to get this video done today so that I can upload it tomorrow. So I think that is it. I'm hoping that some of this was helpful. I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. Don't let the cold fool you. I am taking care of myself. I couldn't even get it out seriously. I'm like tripping over the words. Let me know what you used over the past week or so in terms of eyeshadow. I really love hearing what you all use because it often encourages me to use certain things or to like buy certain things. So let me know what you've been using lately. Please be sure to like the video, also subscribe to the channel. Make sure to leave a comment, whether that is about what you've used or what you're planning to use. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.